Hey guys, how's it going? I wanted to take a look at the energy post-eclipse. So today is July 18th, 2019. I'd like to take a look at the rest of July 2019 for Aries. Oh, nice, right off the bat. And I wanted to say this was the energy that I was getting. It's actually since yesterday that I've been getting encouragements to go take a look at the cards. But then one thing led to another and I wasn't able to. But while I was shuffling the tarot, the cards that fell out were the 10 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, the 5 of Cups in that order, and then the 9 of Pentacles. So some of you are walking away from a very painful situation, a situation that may have had a painful ending, a situation where you may have felt stabbed in the back, betrayed, or just a situation that left you feeling completely drained. You are very clearly moving away from that because it was 10 of Swords, 6 of Swords, 5 of Cups. Feelings are not good, but the last card was the 9 of Pentacles. So, as we've been seeing in these cards in the readings over the last couple of weeks, that it's the movement forward that leads to that feeling of richness. So if you are still in the phase of either the 10 of Swords or the 6 of Swords or the 5 of Cups, know that the 9 of Pentacles and all that growth and all that awesomeness are literally just around the corner. Oh, and there's, that was the card at the bottom of the deck. Now, here's the TikTok. This was the other message that came to me while I was shuffling. That's so interesting. I wanted to remind people that because Saturn is in Capricorn, all results of anything you're working on are slow coming, right? So usually, I'll give you my own example. Once upon a time, if I ate too much or went out too much for a week or whatever, and I would do like an all protein diet or just be healthy for a couple of days and my body would snap back. That has not been the case recently. And I've had to adjust all sorts of things of my diet, remove things that were harmful that I had obviously built up intolerances over. And it's taken weeks for me to see the same results that once upon a time I would have seen in a few days. So time may feel like a really big pressure right now, like you're not blooming fast enough, or you're not getting over it fast enough, or the project's not moving fast enough. This reminds us, again, with the Saturn in Capricorn, nothing is going to go fast, so it's pointless to expect it to. There may be moments of like warp speed where you catch up, but all development will be one step at a time. So if time is currently one of the things that's pressing on you, all flowers bloom when they are meant to. There are seasons. Things happen as they are supposed to happen. This is also talking about a change of seasons here, and you cannot force that. So if you're trying to build something, you're not seeing results as quickly as you would like, take time off the table as a concern and just keep being in your 9 of Pentacles renewal space, knowing that it's coming, and just let it develop as it needs to. So, card please for the energy for the rest of July for Aries. Oh, that's a lot of cards. Okay, that's interesting. This is, there's 2. Oh, crazy. Both 4s. Okay, so solitude and spirit of place, which is interesting because those are kind of 2 takes on the same energy. That's a 4. Here you have a 3. Here you have a 4. This, I think, is kind of like the 4 of Swords. And this is almost like the Hermit energy. But it says that, maybe we need just like some time to sort of regroup, let this stuff grow, some time to process all that has happened, some time to get back in in feeling that what may look, because the spirit of place was behind the solitude. So what may look like a period of solitude to you, or what may feel like loneliness and isolation, is actually what's behind it is a centering. The four is four corners. You can't build anything without the four corners. It has to be well balanced and anchored. And so really what may have felt like a sense of isolation and a sense of loneliness was actually getting you to a very centered, balanced place so that this renewal can happen when the time is appropriate. Now let's check the cards here. Can I get 3 cards, please, for Aries energy for the rest of July 2019? Ooh, okay. 3 right off the bat. Okay, so there's that 10 of Swords again. There's the Devil, and then there's the 8 of Wands. So it's movement forward. Again, anyone who's been in this place, this reminds us that it is not forever. That there is movement, action that will free you. These are the wands, and it's also communication. So it's kind of, there's always this moving forward. It's kind of the same, it's like the same vibe as that 6 of Swords, 5 of Cups, that here this feeling of having been chained to something, or, and maybe dealing with a Capricorn here, that Saturn energy. And this Saturn energy may be making you feel like you're like trotting in place and you can't get anything moving, and you feel chained to this really shitty situation. But this actually says that that's not the case, that these wands are freely flying, and things are moving forward, so we keep seeing this trend of moving forward. These cards here are very promising. That that's interesting, because renewal is also like sort of a Plutonian aspect, and with that, in order to be reborn, it must die first, and this is that Capricorn energy. So this is kind of the phase of a seasonal rebirth, coming into something new, moving forward. These things are about to be planted, and they're flying forward. Now, I want to take a look at, did I not bring it with me? Shit. I literally saw it and I was like, bring this with me. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to put this on pause and get this book. I want to read this Spirit of Place. Okay, sorry about that. So let's see. 4. Oh God, I opened right up to it. Love that. Okay, so authenticity is the essence of power, which is interesting because power is a Plutonian conversation. So authenticity, what's growing, what's being planted, putting those 4 corners down. Our ancient ancestors believed that every place has a spirit looking after it or embodying it. Just as we have a soul, the plants, trees, birds, mountains, and rivers have their own essences. When the Spirit of Place arrives in your reading, it says that the answer to your query is in the overarching theme of your circumstances. Is your question about a struggle? The answer is to relax and let go of your need to control the situation. If your inquiry relates to finding love, then embody love rather than long for it, which is interesting. You remember in that eclipse reading, it said you're becoming the abundance that you seek. So it's not about, that's very interesting. It's not about seeking, again, outside of us, that which we are looking for, but really about this internal renewal of becoming abundance, of becoming love, of becoming richness. You attract, and there's another thing we've kept saying, it's like whatever you put out into the world is what comes back to you tenfold. So if you're complaining, you're going to get more complaints. If you're angry, you're going to get more anger. And there's also a neuroscientific background to this too, is that you focus on that which is most salient to you and that which is most comfortable. So if you're in a place where anger is your comfort go-to zone, that's all you're going to see in the world around you. You'll only see poverty if you're in a poverty mindset. If, however, you start to embody this richness, and this is the second time, even that last card was about the internal flowering of ourselves. if you become that, you stop being chained to sort of these earthly pleasures, and you start to become the abundance itself. Now, once you find the essential truth that underlies your question and then name it, you'll discover the answer you've been seeking. Your greatest power is your authenticity. Okay, so awesome. So don't get scared by these cards. Again, I keep thinking, we keep getting reminded by the presence of the double numbers that there's two forms of every energy. You can have the higher energy, you can have the lower energy. It's like that whole face app thing that's going around now. It's like, well, on one side, they thought it was like a really fun thing. And then on the other, people are like, well, now they're just perfecting facial recognition and neural network adaptation, and they're using our own faces against us. So there's sort of two ways that you can look at this energy and I'm going to post a quote that I found about how to understand what your lesson is based on what's happening to you. I'll put it on the community page there. But there's two ways you can look at everything. You can look at this time of foundational development as isolation and you being punished, or you can look at it as you being properly planted. Now here, another thing interesting, it starts off on this 4 and goes to the 8, right? So this doubles. It's like once you find this natural essence, they go from and we're dealing with the plants again here. So these are the wands. You end up planting not 4, but 8. So that's where the richness comes from. When you find it within you, and you can spread it out to the world. So these are still on the table. So again, I said, anyone who's like got a tough situation that they've been dealing with, you are moving out of it as long as you move into this higher energy space, right? As long as you stay here, you're stuck. This is like the definition of stuck. This guy's not getting up again, and these people are chained. Now, theoretically, they could just pop those, just kind of like the 8 of Swords, right? They could pop those chains off themselves. So this is about, again, prisons and addictions that we put ourselves into. And this is about freeing yourself. Look at those rays that she has, to become this very vibrant, abundant, fruitful, bountiful version of herself. 4, 8. If it's taking longer than you like, you're like, when is this going to happen? It's not about material time, which is a human construct. It's about you. And just as this spirit of play said, let me just find that again. As the spirit of play says, it's to relax, let go of your need to control the situation. So it's like, as soon as you find the truth underlying your question, name it, you discover the answer you've been seeking. So it's not a question of time. It's a question of you. And the power struggle you may be dealing with is actually within you to shift your mindset on how you're approaching that which you may feel is keeping you in chains, but it's actually not. There's a reason those chains exist. And as soon as you are able to recognize what the chain is, then you can take it off. And that's when that transformation starts to happen. Okay. Hope this is clear. And I will be back for the weekly on Saturday. Take care.